Hi, it's me again with Corel tips and tricks. Pretty cool looking wrap. Really easy to make. Just a couple of things you think about. Let's move this one out of the way. And you can kind of see the design right there in the work. So let's draw a rectangle. Only one dimension needs to be perfect, and it needs to be like 6 or anything. Then, because you've got 6 here, we're going to round it off with our ratio lock to 3, and that's going to give us a perfect oval. Now, I am going to draw an ellipse that is 6, and I'm going to hit P, put it in the center page. Matter of fact, grab them both and hit center of the page. And then when you've got them both grabbed, you can hit L. So that's going to be our design, the circle or the ellipse is going to be our rotation mark. So I'm going to double click on that and move it to here. And I'm going to rotate it 60 degrees. I always start off by kind of looking at it. Now, what we can do, we should have made a duplicate of that. So let's back up here. Control D to make a duplicate and rotate it 60 degrees. Now take your ellipse, holding down your shift key, and select the other one and hit R, and that's going to put the ellipse to that side. Then make a duplicate of this, Control D, double click on the rotation and move it to here, and then rotate it a negative 60 degrees, and you get this. Now we can actually take away our original ellipse. And you could play around this and have the triangle smaller and everything, but this works pretty well. We're going to see how big this thing is. It's 12 inches. We're going to set our nudge factor on 15. We're going to take the Smart Fill tool and fill it in that part and move it over, and fill in that part, move it over. But then we also need to fill in this rectangle, and I'm going to make it a yellow or triangle and move it over. That's going to be our rotation point. So I'm just going to nudge that out of the way, and I'm going to nudge this back, right back to the center. And if we bring in our indexing lines, well, I've got quite a few. And see this, the center isn't going to work in this case. So what we're going to do, we need to find the center of that triangle. So let's just get rid of our indexing lines. Let's take this and left click, right click. And because it's a perfect triangle, it's got a midpoint. So we're going to go from the midpoint to that node. You only need to do 2 of them. You can see it says edge or midpoint, midpoint to that node. And then that is the center of that triangle. Now we've got 2 shapes here. I'm going to select them both and go up to object and combine them. Now it's just one object. I could have done it. I could have cut out the line and actually smart filled it. But before we rotate it, let's go ahead and change our graphic here, and let's use the interactive fill tool. And you want to kind of have this part dark, as you can see in there, and just go over here and then grab a dark color. And then you're going to, of course, you're going to have to, I'm going to use a light blue this time, and it's not too much. We want just a little bit of blue there. So I'm going to bring another one, and really could bring this up. I just want a little bit of darkness on that area. Now we can Control D and make a duplicate, double click on the rotation and move it to the center, and it should say intersection. And then rotate that 120 degrees, and then Control D. Look, a lot of times Corel does that. I do not know why, but if you start over and Control D, the rotation's there, and rotate it to 240. And there you have it. Take away your lines, and you have that. Pretty cool, twisted triangle. Anyway, I hope that helped a little bit. Thank you for watching.